One of the things I've been on a big kick with lately is going and creating or upgrading my Claude projects through Claude Cowork. It's always been really efficient for me to use Claude projects before by having the instructions be the instructions and usually about this long, and then of course using MD files. But what I'm finding is the instructions are more complete and it listens to me better whenever I go back and I actually create them in Claude Cowork. It's so much more thorough. It asks me all the right questions. So what I'm doing today is I'm upgrading the instructions for my lead gen personal brand questionnaire. As you all know, lead gen is a huge part of my business, in addition to personal branding as the foundation and content creation too, for when we do drive them to the profile. But the foundation is very much so what we establish with your personal brand questionnaire. I always have my clients voice dictate their answers to about 80 questions. So what I've done so far to speed up this video is I've grabbed the original instructions and copied it into Claude Cowork over here. In addition to grabbing my template of 80 questions, which I based on the Unleashing Influence program I used to pay $500 for and went and made my own. I was always unhappy that there was, as great as the Unleashing Influence program is, that it was not totally customizable to every individual client. I believe firmly the best way to customize a personal brand questionnaire and then ultimately the report and then the product is you have to, or profile rather, is you have to grab their website, grab their sales decks, grab their brand guidelines, grab their current profile, get any and all information you possibly can, and then use that in tandem with a great template like the Unleashing Influence personal brand questionnaire that's really intensive, that takes between 2 and 4 hours depending on how much time you want to spend with it. So I grabbed all this as well. I copied it and pasted it into Claude Cowork, and we're going to give it a rip. I want a final deliverable copy and paste document that I'm going to then upload into Cowork, and then we're going to go and upgrade the project from there. Here we go. Claude of course came up with its first set of questions, 1 of 3. I'm going to respond. I want you to come up with the Claude project instructions so that I can upgrade the project. If you feel an MD file is also necessary, then please suggest so. And away we go there. One of the things that's always incredibly handy, as you just saw, that I like to do with all of my Claude Cowork upgrades for projects is always ask it if it thinks it's necessary to produce a complementary, not duplicative MD file to go with the copy and paste instructions it's going to pump out for you. It's going to come out in a final document, the DOCX style document. So as expected, it's going to produce one document that I'm going to copy and paste from. This is going to be my custom instructions file. And then it's of course going to have the personal brand questionnaire template that it's going to pump out. One of the things, for example, that I always wanted to do is I want to make sure that it produces text boxes that my clients can voice dictate their answers into, so they don't have to type anything in. Voice dictate, voice dictate, voice dictate. It's so incredibly important especially when you're working with AI and working with Claude now, to make sure that you are producing documents or examples for it to work off of. Otherwise, you are never going to have a chance, especially if you're working with any other AI programs out there like Stance AI or, God forbid, Magic Post, that horrible program. And the last question it asked me, which I absolutely love, is do you want me to also generate the client-facing doc with real bordered answer boxes from this template so you have a sample of the final deliverable? This is always really huge because Claude never assumes that it's supposed to be for a client-facing deliverable. So for all of my tech founder clients, I want them to have the final document. I don't want to have any of those little explanations of why it did this rationally or anything like that it produced that's extraneous. So we're going to go ahead and say yes to this. While it is doing that, I'm going to go ahead and open the personal brand question template. I should say the template we're going to copy and paste. Grab all of this, copy, go back up to Claude, get rid of these old instructions that were short and insufficient. Save the instructions there, go back into Claude Cowork, grab this Google Drive file. We're going to make sure that we download this as a Word document. Then we're going to go into files, get rid of this old document I had. Then we're going to, oops, wrong one. We're going to grab the master personal brand questionnaire. And as soon as Claude Cowork is done, we're going to go ahead and upload that sample template too. The personal brand questionnaire has finished up. Final product, the 80 questions I'm looking for. As you can see, the text boxes are here for them to voice dictate into. We are going to open this with Google Drive. I just find that that's going to be easier. You could have done it with Word. And file, download, Microsoft Word. And then we're going to jump back into the Claude project itself. Add this nice little template right here. Oops, I think that was the last file. Here's the right file, the personal brand questionnaire template, and boom, we're done. This is how you upgrade your Claude projects with Claude Cowork. My lead gen personal brand questionnaires, I always get amazing feedback from my new clients that I'm onboarding. That one of the number one piece, so much so that the number one piece of feedback that I get is this really made me rethink how I need to go about my content pillar choices. This made it really clear as to why we need 3 content pillars instead of 5. I really had to think about the direction I wanted to go and the goals that I had for my LinkedIn. So next, I'm going to show you an example of how this gets run in the final product that's going to get pumped out for one of my newest clients. I've already done this for, but we're going to show an example now. This is my newest client, Pawan. I want to go ahead and click on his About section to expand it as much as possible. His old posts are going to show up in addition to a lot of his recent experience. So we're just going to grab all this, copy, oops, throw this in here. And then we're also going to grab his brand strategy guide, drop that in there, and then also his company website, like that. And then we're going to hit go. Make sure you leave it on high and thinking, at least, if not extra, always. And here we have it, the final product that I'll be shipping off to this individual client. Again, it gives you encouragement that, hey, we want longer, messier answers here, again, because we really want to capture the tone. What I love that Claude automatically does when I include the website link to scrape for ICP reference and just more background information is it automatically makes it my client's brand colors, which is great. So this brownish gold color blue is actually the colors that are on PBX's website too. It'll give you the instructions, complete layout. So this is the final product that I'll end up shipping off my client. Once my client voice dictates these over the course of 2 to 3 hours, I then develop the first 8 posts for the following month based on this. We also do the profile updates, which I'll cover in the next video. Based on these, I'll take the personal brand questionnaire answers and then provide my client with 3 different options for their banner message, their headline, and also their about section and experience section as well. All those key areas to make sure we're developing a very concise, punchy narrative that speaks to one emotion tied to one pain point for one client type, for one ICP type. We're not doing multiple because that just dilutes the brand message and ultimately costs you ROI. I hope you've enjoyed this message. Be sure to follow me for more tips. If you are interested in working with me as a tech founder or a tech executive, be sure to reach out to me directly. I'll be placing my email in the copy for this video.